Hello amigos and welcome back, and she is here guys. The event is now live and we can pick ourselves up a free Fischl. So in today's video, let's take a look at her. Let's take a look at her talents and her constellations and see how we should build our Fischls. This is my build of Fischl. It's not complete. I do have a bit more work to do, but she is 80 and I've gone pretty much main attack and that is it. I've tried to add in a little bit of crit rate. We shall take a look at the artifacts as well. So let's get straight into it guys. Let's take a look at this character. So here she is, my level 80 Fischl. Now as we can see from the stats, we've got the main attack stat and I will go into it and explain why I've gone for that, just so you can understand what this character does and how you can see about building her in the future once you've leveled her up. So mine is level 80. She has an attack stat 2087, and if we go into the substats, the details, we can see there we've got crit rate, we've got crit dam, and we've also got the energy recharge as well. Now I do have to mention I have got a double pyro in my team, which has given us an attack boost. So obviously for me, my Fischl is a support character, so she fits into the team rather than acting as a main DPS. But I do know some people, a friend of mine, he actually has built his Fischl as his main DPS because she is that good of a character. Okay, let's take a look at her weapon. So for the weapon I've got on Fischl, I've got her with the Rust Bow. Now, mine is a support build of Fischl, so if you are building a support version of Fischl, make sure you want to be going for electro damage and attack, because that's where she's going to get most of her attack bonus. But obviously I haven't been as lucky to get myself a 5-star weapon, but I am pretty lucky in the fact that I've got a Rust and I've managed to get it to refinement rank 4, so I can use her as sort of main DPS if the event does come where my main DPS happens to die or anything. Then I can use her as almost a backup DPS, but she also works great as a support character. So the Rust Bow is going to give us 449 base stat plus a 37.7 attack modifier as well. So again, she can deal damage if I need her to. So before we go into artifacts, let's take a look at the talents and constellation, because my artifact set is not the best one. I have yet to farm her artifacts for her. So let's have a look at her talents. Okay, so the first one we've got Bolts of Downfall. It's going to be her normal attack. It's pretty standard. It's going to be 5 consecutive shots, plus we've also got an aim shot that deals electro damage. But let's get into the real more important ones. We've got the first talent, the Night Rider. So it summons a little bird called Oz, which is a raven, and it deals electro damage and a small AoE, and it continuously fires off these shots. So along with her normal attack, we get a secondary almost damage dealer. This is why I almost say it's almost like a bit like a turret in other games, in sort of shooter games. It's a bit like a turret. But the main thing here is that when you summon it, we can switch out characters, and that Raven does remain on the field, which is great because it deals electro damage, so you can easily pair it off with your Cryo or your Pyro other characters. So before we move on, let's just quickly take a look into the skill attributes. So the Oz attack damage is going to be 142% of her damage, and the summoning damage is another 185, and the duration is 10 seconds. So again, we're going to have him on the field for 10 seconds, doing 142% of her attack stat as electro damage. So again, you want to have her with high attack. Moving on, we've got the Elemental Burst skill. So this time round, she actually takes the form of Oz, of the Raven, and it deals electro damage when she comes into contact with each of them. And also at the end of it, he then stays on the field and turns back into that turret. So the falling damage, this is on initial cast, is going to do 291% of her damage. That is insane. We've got a cooldown of 15 seconds, and essentially we want to be popping this off, leaving the Raven on the field and then switching back out to our main DPS if you're using her for support. Obviously, if you've got an attack build, she'll be staying on the field as well. Moving down is one that I don't really use, but obviously if you are building her as your main DPS, you may be using it. But essentially, if you hit Oz with an aimed shot, it's going to deal an extra 152.7 attack of that damage, of the arrow's damage, as that electro damage to whatever he's striking. So again, it is looking at sort of the main DPS part of her build, but essentially as a support we're really going to be using that. The last one is if an active character, so when we switch out, triggers an electro related elemental reaction while Oz is on the field, it will deal another bit of electro damage, dealing 80% of Fischl's attack. So again, you want this character to have high attack stats. Let's take a look at those constellations now. Alright, for my constellations, now I got quite lucky with the Venti banner. I don't know if you call it luck, but essentially I got a ton of Fischls. Each time I roll on that, I tended to always get Fischl. I think I actually got her twice in a row, but as a result I managed to max out her constellation. So yeah, we've got max constellation Fischl, so let's just go into this. Obviously, if you don't have max constellation, she still is a great character, but let's just cover them in case you do manage to pick up any more excess constellations, or if your free Fischl was an extra constellation for you. So the first one we've got is when Oz isn't present in combat, he can still watch over Fischl. So when she's on the field firing off her shot, a little eye appears above her, which deals 22% of her attack as damage, as well on top of her regular attacks as well. So again, it puts out her damage output. Next one, when Knight Rider is used, it deals an additional 200% attack as damage, and its AoE is increased by 50%. So this is where we start getting into the big damage increase to Fischl even when she's not on the field. So essentially most of her damage from this comes when she's not even on the field, which makes her a great supporting character to other characters, DPS characters such as DILUC. You can even use her with Chongyun to get that super conduct bonus. So just really think about, if you are going to use her as support, who you're going to be using her with. This one's quite straightforward. It's going to increase Knight Rider by 3, and this one, when we use her element burst, it's going to deal an extra 222% as electro damage, and also a big one if you're using her as your main DPS. When the skill ends, she regenerates 20% of her HP, so essentially she heals herself and can carry on going. So it also is good if you're using her for support, because obviously you then don't have to worry about her sort of dying or anything. And another great thing is she is always sort of there as that backup DPS. The next one is very straightforward. It's going to increase that by 3. And for the last one, Evernight Raven extends Oz's duration by 2 seconds, and additionally, when Oz attacks with an active character present, it deals an extra 30% of Fischl's attack as electro damage. So again, we're getting that boost to damage with her not even needing to be on the field, and that's why she is such a great character. Let's take a quick look at her artifacts now. My artifact set on her is not the best. I have yet to farm the Thundering Fury set, but let's take a look. So at the moment we've got the Gladiators Finale set, which is going to give us a 18% attack boost. Again, attack is one stat that we do want to increase on her, and we've also got the Berserkers set, which is going to give her a 12% crit rate, because obviously we do want to hit some crits with her in this particular build, but I will be looking to replace that Berserkers set with the Thundering Fury, which is going to give her a 15% boost to electro damage. And as a result, that is because she is support, we do need the electro damage, and we do need her attack stat to be quite high as well. So essentially the throwaway one I've got is just a massive boost to attack, but again, if you could get something with electro damage as well, that is going to help increase your chances as well. So let's take a quick look at the character and see how she plays as well. And here we go. So this is my Fischl. Now I'll show you off that Knight Rider. That's going to get us the electro damage shot off. Now we are obviously dealing with a cryo boss, which is why I picked this one, just to show that I tend to pair her off with DILUC, who can switch in, deal the damage. We then switch back out to Fischl. We'll hit him with the elemental burst and get the overloaded, and then switch back to DILUC, leaving Oz on the field to deal that permanent electro damage. And you can see there, we can then pretty much together take out the boss. And that is why we use Fischl as a support for this build. We've got her in, she supports DILUC by adding that extra bit boost to his damage and also managing to get that overloaded. And on our DILUC, we've actually got the Witches set, which increases the overload damage as well. So again, it all works together, and that's why she's a great support character. And there we go. That shows off our showcase for Fischl, the princess. So guys, let me know what you think of Fischl down in the comment section down below. Are you going to be building her as support, or are you going to go for her as main DPS? I think she can do both. I think most of us can agree she's a great character that we can all get for free right now. Like, comment and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can find out when I'm posting some more Genshin Impact information. From your boy FrostiesAmigo, I'm out.